Come, listen, good people, and hear what occurred when the great Sherlock Holmes was made looking absurd. He found a gold ring by a man who was dead, and he thought up a trap using brains in his head. He put in the paper a notice so grand: if you lost a gold ring, you can claim from my hand. He waited at Baker Street, smoking his pipe, expecting a killer of villainous type. Hi-ho, the game is afoot, but the great Sherlock Holmes took a boot to the snoot. He thought he was clever, he thought he was grand, but he got played the fool by a crone in the land. A knock on the door, and who should appear? An old toothless lady, half blind and half deaf in the ear. She took back the ring and she hobbled away, and Sherlock said, "Watson, I've caught him today." He followed her out through the fog and the rain, down alleys and streets and down many a lane. But she jumped from a cab and vanished from sight, and Sherlock came home in the middle of night. Hi-ho, the game is afoot, but the great Sherlock Holmes took a boot to the snoot. He thought he was clever, he thought he was grand, but he got played the fool by a crone in the land. "Oh, Watson, my friend," said the sleuth with a groan, "that wasn't a lady who walked on her own. It was a young feller, a cunning young knave, who dressed in drag just to send me to my grave." But before he could fret, in burst Gregson so proud, a Scotland Yard copper, both boasting and loud. "I've solved it, I've cracked it," he shouted with glee, "I've locked up the killer and the hero is me." Hi-ho, the game is afoot, but the great Sherlock Holmes took a boot to the snoot. He thought he was clever, he thought he was grand, but he got played the fool by a crone in the land. "And how did you do it?" asked Holmes with a sigh. "With a stick and a grudge," was the copper's reply. "A lad chased the victim with a piece of a tree, and that is enough for Inspector, that's me." He ignored all the poison, he ignored all the blood. His theory was shaky, his logic was mud. But Sherlock just smiled and let Gregson boast on, for it kept his own failure from seeing the dawn. So raise up a glass to the Yard and their pride, and to Sherlock who wished he had somewhere to hide. For even the smartest can slip in the mud when chasing a bloke in a dress through the blood. Hi-ho, the game is afoot. Yes, the